Coach, first of all, congratulations on the win in the regional. A nice win, too, and one that you kind of took care of there in the second half. I know things were close there in the first half, but before we get into the specifics of the game, what was the speech you made to the team before you guys took the field Friday night?
Well, I don't think it was anything revolutionary. We just talked about kind of our role as underdogs and kind of being underestimated, I think, by pretty much everyone in the state, and, maybe rightfully so, given, the bumps that we endured through the regular season. But just the fact that we weren't going to be bullied and that we were going to play with a lot of heart and emotion, and our coaches had put in a great week of game planning, and they knew the game plan. All we had to do is go execute it, and, essentially, let's go out and get the job done. And I think everyone in that locker room, knew from the outstart, from the time we left the locker room, had a feeling, that a confident feeling that we were going to go out and play well and win the ball game. And when you get a team like that whose time has come, so to speak, I think, they're a hard group to stop. We'll put it that way.
Well, you guys take a 21-19 lead going into the half there against Bloomington South. Obviously, things took off much better for you at the half. When you went into the half and you started to look at how the first half went and game planning for the second half, what did you say to the team there? Was there still some, hey, we're not done yet, we've got the lead, but let's keep in mind we got to finish this off?
Yeah, I think so. I think the first half was maybe closer than it should have been because we gave up a couple plays in the passing game, in the side pocket window of cover two, and they were able to close the gap. We were out ahead pretty solid early in the first half, and then the second half was just, hey, here's what's hurting us. Here's what we got to play just a little bit better. I think a lot of times people think, halftime adjustments, you're going to come out and, things weren't working well, so you change your offense and you go to the triple option or whatever. But I think a lot of casual fans don't really understand. You're not going to change a whole lot schematically. You might make a few tweaks and adjustments. But the message was continue to do what we do. We thought our stuff was good. Now it was just, down to execution. And like I said, there were just a few little things we wanted to look at that maybe had hurt us on both sides of the ball. And so got those taken care of, cleared up with the players, and came out and played a great second half. And, again, tribute to our kids and our players and the way that they executed the game plan. And really our coaches, too, for a great week of preparation.
It's Ford and O'Brien on ESPN Evansville 105.3 online, ESPN.evansville.com. Joining us on the Menard Studio Hotlines, Castle head football coach Doug Hurt, preparing for a semi-state battle, the first since '94. Coach, this is, again, your first trip to semi-state since 1994. You won a state title that year. You were a player. Now you go back as a coach. How cool is that to just to be able to go coach these kids somewhere you've been? You know what they're feeling. This is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, no question about it. It was a lot of fun as a player, and some of the best memories of my life, outside of big family events and kids being born and things like that. But certainly, those are some of the best memories. And really, what I try to carry to the kids and so on. And our message is it's not. It's not about the coaches. It's not about Coach Hurt. Hey, going back and look, and those kind of things, and what I can accomplish or this or that. It's really about trying to create memories for them, like I have, and that's really, all of our coaching staff feels that way. We're not in it to get recognition or notoriety, those kind of things. But I think, my mission is I had such a positive experience with Coach Leidy, and football was and has been such a big part of my life, and so such a positive that I want the same thing for these guys, and it's something they'll take with them forever. So we just got to find a way to squeak another one out here this week. It's going to be a tough test, but find a way to get ourselves in position to win a state title, but just keep it rolling.
Have you? You've made no secret that Coach Leidy is a mentor. Have you talked to Coach since your regional win?
I sent him a text and said, I hope that exercises a few demons, just based on, and I was too young to really remember the game or anything about the 1983 game. But, as close as he and I were, and, he hired me on when I was a young coach. And, Vince is one of my very best friends. And Mrs. Leidy used to introduce me to people as the third Leidy son. So, that speaks volumes about how close the family and I were and are. But I knew that meant a lot to him. Just maybe hearing from me, so on and so forth. I hope he's savvy enough to use the technology. I talked to his son Vince this week just to make sure he got the text because Coach isn't the most tech savvy guy, but he said that he'd make sure he did and that kind of thing. So yeah, they're going to be at the game this weekend. The whole Leidy family, I think. Vince and Alan, his two sons that both played with me, and they're going to be there with their families. Coach and Mrs. Leidy are coming. So, it's real special to me to kind of carry on the tradition and the legacy that he left and try to carry it on. The X's and O's on the field, obviously, as the game has evolved, are a little bit different, but hopefully the heart, the mentality, and the atmosphere around the program will never change.
How does he talk about today's game? You throw the football probably more in one game than Coach Leidy throws in a season. Castle won those games on ground and pound. I mean, even back to the Brosmer days and the days that you played, it's just he ran the football and he did it well. How does he take in today's game, I guess is a way to put it?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't really know the answer to that. I know that he was very much against the forward pass when I played. He used to always say, three things can happen and two of them are bad, and would refer to passing teams as teams that played basketball on grass. So, I don't know exactly. I'm sure he's had to come around a little bit just because of the proliferance of the passing game and watching guys and what they're doing. But, I think, I've got another guy, Ted Huber, who's on our staff, who's been around and seen football for a long time. He's an IFCA Hall of Fame coach and retired from Brady Hoke's Ball State staff, about 10 years ago. And, his comments are always, it's not even the same game. This isn't the same game that we played 20 years ago, 15, maybe even 7 or 8. The game has just changed so much. It's really entirely different with the passing game, the speed and athleticism on the field. The way that Indiana has changed the rules so we can do a little bit more in the summer, and the amount of time that guys invest now. You have to work so hard each week, to win games. Back in the day, and you just kind of lined up, and everybody ran a 3-4 or later a 4-3, and block here, block there, and away you went, and you muscled wins out. Now there's so much more involved. The game just is really, really different. So, in terms of how Coach Leidy feels about that, I couldn't say, but I know he was committed to playing physical football, and that's a mantra that we use all the time: is fast and physical. And so, while like I said, the X's and O's aren't identical, but hopefully the mentality is.
It's Ford and O'Brien on ESPN Evansville 105.3 online, ESPN.evansville.com. Talking on the Menard Studio Hotline with Castle High School head football coach Doug Hurt. You talk about big physical. That's New Palestine. They've always been that way. They move up to 5A this year after a 4A state title last season, but always big and physical. I'm sure you see that on film as well. Does your speed on this team, does that pose a problem for bigger, more powerful teams?
I certainly hope so. I mean, I can't tell you because I haven't seen these guys play in person, but to me, speed on the football field is everything. And you look at the NFL, you look at college programs, you look at the way that guys looked in pictures when you go to these programs. 20 years ago, and they were all big and bulked up, and neck rolls, and now it's all about athleticism. And surely the strength and explosiveness aspect you still want, but you want guys that can run, you want guys that can move. Whether it's the offensive line, defensive line, they have to be able to move. And the thing I see from New Pal, especially with their offensive line, is they're big and thick and physical, but they move well too. And so you'd love to have size and speed. If you got to pick one, you always pick speed, in my opinion. But they're very athletic given their size, and so they're gonna pose a number of problems for us on both sides of the ball. Being able to handle, as you called it, a ground and pound mentality. If you look at the stats. They're a spread team, but they're a spread team built to run. They want to run the football. Their quarterback's the leading rusher. He's a fine football player, Mr. Football candidate, and well-deserved. He's thrown for 2,200 plus yards and ran for another 1,800. So he makes up a huge volume of their offense just in and of himself. So we got to find a way to contain him and slow down the run with those big offensive linemen, those big horses up front. It's a big challenge. We'll put it that way. We've got our hands full and work cut out. But certainly we're excited and hope that we can make the most of the opportunity.
It's Castle Knight head coach Doug Hurt getting ready for a semi-state game against New Palestine at New Palestine this weekend. Coach, best of luck to you, and hopefully we can talk again next week and keep these conversations going as you guys try to make a trip up to Indianapolis Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, I'm all for that. I hope hope we can get it done, and I hope that works out that way. I'd love to talk to you guys again next week, and send my best to you guys, and thanks for all the support that you guys give to the program and to high school football in general.
Best of luck, Coach. We appreciate the time.
All right. Thanks, gentlemen.